So the Raptors beat the Spurs. I'm being completely honest. I didn't think the Raptors were going to win today. Just because we were down 5 bodies and the way the last game went. I felt like because we're down so many bodies, we may have started playing the way we did last game, which was a lot of dribble ball, not much movement. It didn't feel like we were playing like the Raptors. And that's how the game started off, honestly. It started off with a lot of dribble ball, a lot, barely any movement. And the guys seemed energetic, but at the same time, they felt sloppy, while being energetic, especially Siakam in the beginning and Malachi and all that. But Malachi kind of had some shooting mishaps early on throughout the game, but he had some nice shots. In the first quarter, he had a shot. It was Siakam really quick passed it to him after 4 seconds off the shot clock. I didn't think he should have taken it. I thought it was kind of not wise to take that shot, especially since we were not playing very well. We had to get our guys going. Yeah, Malachi had to get himself going at the same time, but I think getting your team involved around you and getting their shots going before you get your own is very important. That's something Larry does a lot of the time, and that's something Van Vliet does a lot of the time. And the fact that Malachi took that shot, I feel like he just really wanted to be that guy that kind of fueled everyone up by pumping them up and getting a really nice three. And he did. He got the three. He landed it down. But I still don't think that makes it a good shot, just because he made it. Although it was a nice shot. Because the guy pretty much had his hand right in his face, and he took it the second Siakam passed it to him. So there's that. But yeah, he's a rookie. He'll learn some stuff. But it's not like it was the worst shot in the world. I'll live with it. But after that, they instantly went to a timeout from Greg Popovich, and out of the timeout, we slowed it down a bit, and we started passing the ball more. And we got a couple shots. And then there was another timeout. And once we came out of that timeout, it kind of became sluggish again and started going all over the place. Now, also in the first quarter, I feel like we were taking too many threes to start off with. By the end of it, we shot about 30 threes, which is not that many, honestly. We should usually shoot a lot more, and we miss a hell of a lot more than that. We made 14 of them of the 30. We shot near 50% from both field goal and three. So that's that. I've been basically saying all season, pretty much, to everyone talk basketball about basically that to win games at this point, the Raptors pretty much have to start their starting five when they're healthy, like Siakam, Van Vliet, Lowry, OG, Boucher, and all those guys. We basically have to start them and only play them for 48 minutes or shoot 50%. And that's usually how it goes. But I feel like the Raptors are a very inconsistent team. I feel like the most inconsistent player on the team, and people are going to crucify me for saying this probably, but Van Vliet goes and shoots 54, and then he has 10 the next game. That's the type of consistency he has. He's not a very inconsistent player, but he's a big-time player. He makes those shots when we need them, and that's really all that matters in my eyes. If you make those shots when we need them, that's what matters. I don't care if you go 0 of 10 and then make the game winner. I don't care. You made that game winner, Now, the second quarter pretty much was much of the same stuff. There's a lot more energy, though, kind of starting to feel up, but it still was kind of not there entirely. We had some guys trying to get us energized. OG was one of them. OG was great in the first half, honestly. I feel like it kind of slowed down a bit. I was surprised he only had 4 boards by the end of it, but he had 2 steals, 22 points. Very good game for him. Shot 50%, I believe, a 5 of 10. Got some free throws. But basically the top energy guys that kind of kept us going through that first half, I said were Gillespie, Birch, Yuta, especially Yuta, and OG. Those are the top 4 guys. And honestly, throughout the whole entire game, they were the best energy guys out there, and they kept our guys going and driving. Malachi slowly crept in and started bringing the energy more because of that. And all of our guys started bringing that energy more just because we had guys like Yuta, like OG, like Birch, like Gillespie, starting to bring that energy up and keeping that energy. Now, that being said, with Gillespie, I think Gillespie was the best energy guy we had out there. And then second was probably Yuta, Birch, then OG. But that being said, Gillespie, his screens did not look that great. He would go and set them, but they were half set, and then he just sag off. He never really actually stopped the guy from running him over pretty much, or running through him. There was not much of a screen. That's my whole issue with anything he did this game. Otherwise, I think he played great. not great, but like you said, he's played pretty good, pretty damn good. But I think on the offensive end he could have been a little bit better, but defensively and all that stuff, he was good. He was good. He's definitely good. And speaking of Gillespie's screens, it didn't really matter if he set the bad screens, because we weren't even really using screens in the first place. Like, I don't know why we wouldn't. Like, our outside shot was falling at one point, right? But I mean, getting inside the paint was a big part of our game, because early on our shots weren't hitting, and then we started getting into the paint, getting into the paint. But a lot of it was in the first half iso ball, not, or just like one pass, get to the hoop in like really quick. No ball movement or anything. Honestly, I kind of wanted to just like Nick Nurse should put like a rule, like 3 passes and minimum before you actually go to the hoop, because like they were not passing that much at all in that first half, and that's just how it was. And I mean they started attacking the basket at one point, and that's really what it did. But they didn't use many screens for it. They mostly just tried to attack the basket themselves, instead of using the screens. And I feel like if they used some screens, that would have helped them out a lot, considering I feel like a lot of the guys on the Spurs could have been like oversized, like Patty Mills, and I feel like Murray has some size, but I mean, I feel like Siakam throws a screen, he goes right around, or even switches. We could have more switches, but I feel like we didn't do enough of those. And that's pretty much it for like the second half. Third half, we came out with a lot of energy. We were passing the ball more in the second half, and the shots weren't really there at the beginning of the third, so we started attacking the basket more, just like we did in the second, and that was working very well for us, which is very great, because honestly, the Raptors need to be attacking the basket a lot more than they normally do. That's just a fact. They just have to be attacking it a lot more, and the fact that they're doing that was very good, very good, very good for them. The defense started to get sharper, get quicker, and get more tighter. We were making them make mistakes, and we were punishing them for it. Getting into that transition ball, there's a nice play where we got a steal and we passed it all the way down to Birch. Birch got a nice clean dunk. That was really nice. Honestly, it was the most energetic third quarter I've seen from them in a while. Usually, if you're a Raptor fan, you most likely know. If you don't, you should really pay attention. But the third quarter curse, man. The last 5 years, third quarters have not been our friend, and this year, honestly, it's more like the second halves have not been our friend, because we're like one of the worst fourth quarter teams in the league, if not the worst right now. We do not close out games very well, and usually that starts in the third, carries on into the fourth. And that's just no good. At the end of the game, we started really, really, really digging into their defense. But we were going on a really nice run, just to kind of keep it up. And we got to over 10 points. I believe that happened in the third. They kind of brought it back. But then right in the fourth, we brought it right back over 10 points. We brought it to 11. Right at the end of the game, though, we had a turnover. Siakam made a foul on DeRozan. They had 2 shots. And then we tried to bring it over, but we had another turnover, 8 seconds on violation on OG. I feel like OG may have actually got it across, but it was hardly hard to tell. It probably was just on 8 seconds. It was right before Malachi got it. But it is what it is. We still won the game in the end. But then after that, we pretty much had another turnover. So we had a turnover, a foul, a turnover, and basically a turnover. And that just... it was not good. They brought it back, basically. The Spurs were up 11 points, and the Spurs brought it back to 3, But at the end of the game, we had some really good defense, really good poise. We kept ourselves content, and we just kept going at them, and we made those shots, those free throws, pretty much because they had to keep fouling us. We kept making them, and we stopped them from making their shots, and we wasted a bunch of time. Honestly, they wasted a bunch of time too. There's one time where, honestly, it was 38 seconds left. I feel like they should just foul it right there and then, but they were waiting the whole time, and there was about probably 6 seconds left on the shot clock. They wasted 18 seconds, 16 seconds just to foul. I feel like I guess they're trying to get a steal, see if they can get a steal before they fouled, but I mean it just didn't work out. They should have just fouled right off the bat, and that really cost them. Because 18 seconds when 38 seconds is on the clock, that's a big difference. And the fact that we were able to keep that going and keep bringing the pressure to them with the energy as well. That contributed a lot to our win, and I'm very proud of them for doing that. I hope next game we get Lowry back, Van Vliet back, and all these guys, so we can really kind of push and get a little bit of win streak going. But it's going to take a lot for us to still move on and kind of make it into that play-in tournament. It's going to take a lot from the Raptors, but I definitely believe they can do it. To end the video off, I'm just going to mention some guys that I thought were very impactful for the Raptors today, and that was one, OG Anunoby. I thought he was my player of the game. He brought the energy on defense early on, and even though other guys were struggling and kind of being sluggish there, he was there defending, ready to go. And then Gillespie really brought the energy on both ends of the floor and kept it going quick. Same with Birch. Birch really ran down the court, ran up both ends, and kept these guys remembering, like Siakam and all of them, let's move. Let's move those feet, okay? We got to be quick. We can't be slow. We can't be slow on these guys. These guys are going to punish us for that, okay? DeRozan, he's just going to cross you over, go around you, and shoot either a layup or a fadeaway, Like, that's what DeRozan does. We all know that here in Toronto, Well, Tampa Bay now, but... yeah, those guys are really good, and I think pretty much every time Lowry's out, OG steps up. And it's great to see from him. I think he has a young, promising future, and I feel like he can be a third option on a championship team, honestly. And that's his potential. I don't know if he can be anywhere from second to first. That's up for debate. But he's definitely one of those guys where, like Drew Holiday, on his defensive impact, he definitely could be on a second team, first team all defense in the future. He has that type of impact on defense, and it shows when he's out for injury and our defense suffers, and then when he comes back and our defense is tremendously better, even though the other guys still may be struggling a bit, he carries us on defense.